the Sunday morning news that feels less like a headline and more like a prophecy. If you are waking up in the southeast or anywhere in Nigeria today, you are likely feeling a mix of confusion, anger, and perhaps a tiny, fragile thread of hope. The headline says, Nnamdi Kanu will be released from Sokoto jail, and here is how. To the average person, this sounds impossible. How can a man sentenced to life imprisonment on Thursday and secretly moved to a maximum security prison in Sokoto on Friday be released? Is this just false hope? But today, Sunday, November 23rd, 2025, we have uncovered the details of a secret strategy that suggests the game is not over. It has just changed levels. Welcome to this deep dive special broadcast. We are not just reporting the news. We are connecting the dots that the mainstream media is afraid to touch. We are going to explain the Otti Option, the Sokoto gamble, and the lakurawa threat that might force the federal government to open those prison gates sooner than you think. If you're finding this deep strategic breakdown valuable and you want to understand the chess game behind the headlines, please take a second to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We dig deeper than the rest. Let's get straight to the gist. Part 1. The secret agreement. The political how. The biggest revelation came late yesterday and is dominating the news cycle today. Governor Alex Otti of Abia State broke his silence with a statement that was carefully worded but explosive in meaning. While everyone was crying over the life sentence, Otti said something crucial. I must state that some agreements were made which were dependent on quick dispensation of the matter at the Federal High Court. Listen to that again. Agreements were made. This is the key to the how. Governor Otti is essentially telling us that the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu, the life sentence itself, was a necessary step in a pre-agreed political solution. Think about the law. The president of Nigeria has the power of prerogative of mercy, pardon. But you cannot pardon a man who is still awaiting trial. You can only pardon a convict. So, the theory, backed by Otti's confident statement, is that the federal government and Southeast leaders agreed to let the court finish its job. Let the judge bang the gavel. Let him be a convict. Once that legal box is ticked, the president can then step in, use his executive power, and grant amnesty or a pardon as part of a national reconciliation package. Governor Otti said, I am confident that judgment having been delivered, the alternative resolution will now kick in. He is telling us, don't panic about the life sentence. It was part of the script. Part 2, the Sokoto pressure. The security how. Now let's talk about the location, Sokoto Prison. Why move him to the northwest? Critics say it is to punish him, to isolate him, to break his spirit. And yes, that is part of it. But there is a law of unintended consequences here. Sokoto is currently the home of the new terror group, lakurawa. We have been reporting on how this group from the Sahel is terrorizing Kebbi and Sokoto. By keeping Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto, the federal government has placed a massive security burden on itself. If the lakurawa bandits decide to attack that prison, like they attacked the Niger school on Friday, and anything happens to Nnamdi Kanu, the Nigerian state will face a catastrophe. The southeast would erupt. The suspicion of state-sponsored assassination would be impossible to erase. So, security experts are arguing that the Sokoto move is unsustainable. The risk is too high. This pressure creates a scenario where the government must release him or move him to house arrest to ensure his safety. The danger becomes the leverage for his release. Part 3. The legal appeal, the judicial how. While the politicians work the Otti strategy, the lawyers are not sleeping. Barrister Aloy Ejimakor has already filed the appeal. The argument is technical but powerful. You cannot try a man on a repealed law. If the appeal court agrees that the 2013 Terrorism Act was dead when Kanu was charged, the entire life sentence collapses. But there is new drama in the legal team today. Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, Kanu's former lawyer, released a blistering statement today, November 23rd. He blasted the current legal team, calling them amateurs and accusing them of focusing on social media theatrics instead of law. He claims they derailed the case. This internal fighting is messy, but it also puts pressure on the system to bypass the lawyers and go straight to the political solution. Related talk: the psychology of the deal. I want to engage you on this. We need to talk about trust. Governor Otti says there is an agreement. But can we trust secret agreements with the federal government? History is full of deals that went wrong. Remember MKO Abiola? He was offered conditional release and refused. He died in custody. The fear in the hearts of many Igbos today is that this Sokoto transfer is not a step towards release, but a step towards silencing him forever. But look at Asari Dokubo. Look at Gani Adams. Look at Sunday Igboho. The Nigerian state has a history of rehabilitating agitators when it suits them. The question is Tinubu brave enough to sign that pardon paper? Conclusion: the timeline. So what happens next? Watch for a meeting between the Southeast governors and President Tinubu in the coming days. Governor Otti has activated the strategy. Watch for the appeal hearing date and watch the security situation in Sokoto. The how is a combination of a presidential pardon triggered by the conviction and security necessity triggered by the lakurawa threat. Nnamdi Kanu is in a cell today, but the keys to that cell are political, not judicial. And those keys are currently on the table in Aso Rock. What do you think? Do you trust Governor Otti's secret agreement? Or do you think Kanu is in Sokoto for good? Let me know in the comments.